Are you thinking about investing in real estate? I own several dozen rental properties. I've been doing it for over 30 years. This past year, I sold more than 42 properties. I'm going to show you a property that I recently bought, and I'll tell you what I paid for it. I'll tell you the return I'm getting out of it and why it was right for me. I'll give you quick 5 tips of what I look for, why I invest in real estate, and why I think it's such a great investment. I'll go through all of that with you, but I'm going to talk to you today about why I invest in real estate. To me, hands down, real estate is the best investing that you can do because it provides a lot of opportunity, the opportunity to meet a lot of people. And at the end of the day, to me, it really is the safest investment that I can put my money into. Of course, there are worries, there are liabilities with real estate. We have to understand that property taxes go up, repairs have to be made, and those things happen. So guys, number one, first and foremost, the reason I invest in real estate is because I believe it's the safest investment you can make with your money. The second reason I invest in real estate is because I believe the best way to invest in real estate is multiple ways, not just one way. That means you can buy single family homes, you can buy multi-family homes, duplexes, you can buy commercial, you can buy industrial, you can buy just straight land. So sit on that land, you can rent the land out. There's so many things you can do with real estate. That's what I love about it. And what's even more fun about it is you may buy a property that you think you're going to use it one way, and by the time you get 5 years down the road with it, it may be utilized a completely different way. I've had many of those scenarios that I'll teach you about as we go along. Although I do have to say, I think investing locally, or at least where you can keep an eye on things, is the best way. But the fact that you can put your money in different things as your life changes, as things go along, as your kids get older, you may want them to live next to you, and you may want them to live far away from you. It's hard to say. But it's nice when you can invest in something, a piece of property that may be utilized by one of your family members, especially in a time of need or crisis. So I love being able to invest different ways in real estate. The third reason I invest in real estate is because I pay less taxes with the money that I make on real estate. That's right, folks. Check me. I'm not an accountant, and I don't give tax advice. But I can tell you from my own experience, I pay less taxes on money that I derive from real estate. Well, there's really 2 reasons why. The main reason why is that rental income is not taxed as Social Security. So you don't have to pay Social Security on rental income. That's number 1. Number 2 is that I try to buy in townships so that I avoid city taxes. If you buy a house in a township, you don't have to pay the city tax, and city taxes can get very expensive. And just remember that any type of rent that comes from rental property is taxed less than money you would make at your job. That's what I love about it. So that's it. Number 3, I love investing in real estate because I pay less taxes. The fourth reason I love investing in real estate is because I'm creating generational wealth for my family. Investing in real estate gives you the ability to be able to pass those properties on to your children. And it also gives you a really great opportunity to work with your children and your grandchildren to teach them about the rental business. Now, you may have a lot to learn about the business, but people like me can help you learn. And I am always available for questions and answers at any time. But let me tell you, this has been one of the greatest experiences of my life, was actually getting into the rental business. The next point will be relevant to how I help my family with it, but generational wealth is really awesome. The fact that you can accumulate properties and have those properties for as long as you want to have them for, and the ability to be able to pass those on to your children or your heirs or someone special in your life, someone that you want to take care of, maybe somebody that's done something for you. That's what real estate does for the average person, and that's why I love it. I have been buying houses since I was a young man, like in my early 20s. Like I was just a kid. I didn't know what I was doing. Made tons of mistakes, had lots of failures, and I had lots of successes. Now, as long as I've been doing it, I make few mistakes, or at least like to think that I do. Very careful about what I buy. I am very particular about the property that I'll take on. I inspect that property myself, and then I'll have additional inspections done if necessary. I like to buy under market. That's what I look for. I look for something I can buy with instant equity. When I buy a house, I want to know that the day I close that house, I can sell it for at least what I have in it or more. I don't want to buy in the hole. Buying in the hole is not for anyone. So just because there's a house for sale and you might think it's a good idea, it may not be a good idea. There's a lot of things that we'll get into in my other videos if you watch, how to check and tell if you're going to get a good deal and if it's the right house to buy. Generational wealth, that's number 4. That's the reason you want to buy. Start building a legacy, a dynasty for your family. It's truly an incredible thing to do. It was getting pretty cold out there, so I decided I'd sit in the truck for a minute and do point number 5. We're in Ohio. It's New Year's Day, and it's probably like about 20 degrees, so it's pretty cold. The 5th reason, the best reason, the reason that I love buying rental property is because I buy it for specific uses. You're not going to see this on most of the channels. People are going to have more generic kind of unspecific answers like I'm about to give you. But this is why I love to buy real estate. What it means to me is I have 2 daughters. I love them very much. And, you know, as you have kids, they have needs. And my daughters needed new cars. They needed decent cars, dependable transportation to get to and from college. So I thought about it for a little bit, and I thought, well, I can go put the capital into the car. I can buy it. I can not have a car payment. Or I could go have a car payment and I can make the payments. But then I thought, well, hey, I could go buy a house. And I did. I bought 2 houses. They both were in about the $70,000 range, and they both generated roughly about $750. One was $750 and one was about $800 a month. Well, guess what? That was enough to pay the taxes, the insurance, and the car payment for those houses for the 4 or 5 years that it took me to get the cars paid off. Then at the end of that, the car was paid off, and the house was worth more than what I paid for it. It was really awesome. So that's how I used it for a specific purpose. I've done that with a lot of things. I'm actually doing that now. I'm looking at a new truck. I'd like to buy a new truck. I'm just overwhelmed with the pricing. I mean, the pricing is ridiculous. And to me, it doesn't seem like they build them like they used to. It's almost like they build them to break. So if and when I do decide to buy a new truck, I'm not buying that truck in cash. I'm going to buy that truck on payments. And I'm going to find probably 2 properties because of the price of trucks these days. I'll probably have to buy 2 properties. I'll tie that money up, but that money in turn will then pay me back for the payment. I'll make the truck payment, get the truck paid off, and then hopefully I'll have 2 houses that are worth much more than what I paid for them. That's the goal. Folks, stay tuned. I'm going to take you and show you this property now. I know I've been promising it. I appreciate you sticking with me. I've given you my 5 reasons as to why I buy real estate. I'm going to show you this piece of real estate that I just bought. I'm going to give you specifics on it. Stay tuned. It's coming up right now. Okay, here's the property I was telling you about. So this property is located in a township. It's actually in Marlboro Township. It has a lot of great features to it, but probably the worst feature is what I'm showing you right now, is just the road and how close it is to the house. This was a deterrent when it came time to sell the house. You can see it's louder out here. I like to give everybody the good and the bad, not just show the good. So in the front yard, you don't have a lot of room between the road and the house, but you got a really nice house. Now this house has mostly updated shingles on it, so the roof is good. And you'll notice that this was an add-on. So this was the original house here, and we get on the other side of the tree. This is a big add-on that they put onto the house. The house inside is much bigger than it would appear outside. It was a situation where he had gotten divorced, but he loved the house and he didn't want to have to move, but the property was going to have to be sold. So we were able to work out a deal in which he could stay here and not have to move, and he makes payments, but the way he makes payments to me give him equity in the property. So we actually establish a price, and every time he makes a payment to me, he gets a credit off of a price we agreed upon. Now, I paid $170,000 for this house. I think that was a fair deal. I sold it to him for not a whole lot more than that. And he has the right to buy the property at any time he wants to, because he has what we call a rent-to-own lease. It's a really nice thing, and it's was a good scenario for him because he was not able to just go to a bank and get a loan. Now, I'll show you some of the stuff here. Some of the barns need cleaned out. It's not terrible. It's got a nice little deck on the back, and you can see the field out back there. These are the kind of scenarios I try to put myself in, though. if I can find a property that's in good shape, this one is. I don't want to go in the house and bother them. I'll just show you the outside here. But if I can find a good property that has had updates done to it, like you can see the roof here. He has a nice hot tub out here on the deck. You can see the back. Nice siding on the house. It's actually got a really nice hot tub set up here. I'll show you. Right inside. It's ready to go. This is how you make winners out of properties. Now this property, I'm willing to sit on and hold for as long as it takes. We got a plan together to get some of this stuff cleaned up. We did have a barn over here that I'll take you over and show you. It's probably the worst part of the property. Barn's kind of leaning, and there is a lot of junk inside of it and around. He's done a good job cleaning it up so far. I'm sure that he'll continue. But out here, you just have a lot of nice open land. Things are nice when you can do kind of what you want to do. It's not in a city, so it's not a lot of city regulation. And then it's got a really nice garage, big garage outbuilding here. I know that he does a lot of work inside of this garage, and the roof on it is pretty decent. So working on getting this cleaned up. This has been an ongoing project. And then out back here, we've got a little bit more stuff. He's a contractor, so he runs across a lot of different things he'll have to bring back. But anyhow, this is it. This is the property that I paid $170,000 for. And I feel like it was a good deal. On paper, it's a great deal. It's a win for me, and it's a win for the tenant. The tenant's able to stay here. He's able to have the life that he knows. He loves it here. He doesn't want to leave, and he's working towards getting it paid off. The road doesn't bother him. It might bother some people, but it does not bother him. This is a good example of what I do. Folks, thanks for watching. That I did forget to mention that the rent for that house is $2,000 a month, which is a good income for me, and it also is knocking quite a bit of money off the principal for him each time that he makes a payment. So again, it's a win-win, and that's all you can hope to do in the rental business is have a win-win. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.